Hi everyone, my name's Daniel. So for my Fable retelling, I decided to retell Cinderella, but from the princess point of view. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. I'm reading off my laptop here, so sorry for the lack of eye contact, and I'm at work, so hopefully no one comes in. The door to my room flies open as the head servant of our castle rushes in to check on the loud noise he had heard. Is everything all right, Your Highness? He asks worriedly. I thought I heard a loud noise coming from up here. Yes, I'm fine, I reply. It's just that tonight is the annual ball, and to be honest, I'm getting tired of playing the same old game year after year. What do you mean, sir? You get to dance with all the fairest maidens in the kingdom. I can't imagine that to be too difficult of a task to bear, he says assuredly as he heads back down to the dining quarters to ensure breakfast is served at its usual time. I ponder his words for a moment and realize that he does make a very good point. Just about any other guy in the kingdom would kill to be in my position. However, being the prince comes with certain challenges in regards to love. I have been attending these annual balls every year since my 18th birthday, with the expectation from my father, the king, that I would find a wife that would become princess of our kingdom. This ball would mark the 9th one I've attended, and my parents are starting to grow impatient with my selectiveness. What they fail to understand is that I have yet to find someone who wants to be with me because of me. Every year I am inundated with, I'd make a great princess because, or wait until you hear my ideas for the kingdom once I'm princess. For once, I'd like to look into a pair of eyes and feel that spark that can only be felt when two people make a genuine connection. For once, I'd like someone to see me for the man that I am, and not the power of my title or possessions I own. I fantasize about this for a moment as I gaze out my window overlooking the village. It is a remarkably sunny day, and the slight warm breeze feels like a cozy blanket comforting me. Surely there must be someone out there who is as genuine as she is beautiful, I think to myself as I prepare to head down to breakfast. The middle part of my day feels like a blur, as I have repeated this process 8 times before. First comes getting my evening attire tailored, a long and drawn-out affair that makes much more time than is really necessary. My mother, the queen, thankfully takes care of most of the actual planning behind the ball, allowing me some free time before the evening festivities get underway. I decide to use that free time to take a walk around the kingdom, mentally preparing myself for the deluge of unwanted attention I will receive tonight. The sunny blue sky from earlier has been replaced by a cool orange glow as the sun slowly sets behind the mountains overlooking our kingdom. The forest is calmingly quiet as I make my way along the path, admiring the subtle beauty of the trees encompassing me. The density of the trees begins to lessen as I approach a clearing, one that has been traditionally used as a cemetery of sorts for the village people. This is where I usually turn around and head back to the castle, but as I begin to do so, I am slightly startled to hear what appears to be a woman crying. I stay standing there for a moment, trying to make sense of the situation. All of a sudden I can hear her voice as she begins to sing. Little tree, shake over me, that silver and gold may come down and cover me. The melancholy in her voice is enchanting as she repeats the verse again. What on earth could those lyrics mean? I wonder to myself as I contemplate walking into the clearing and greeting her. When I finally do work up the courage to do so, she is nowhere to be found. Surely I couldn't have been imagining that. I notice that the sun has almost set completely, and the guests of the ball will soon begin to wonder about my whereabouts. I slowly begin to walk back, unable to shake off what I had heard. The guests all gradually arrive, everyone dressed in their evening best. I am in my usual spot during these occasions, perched up above the festivities on the second floor overlooking the grand ballroom. My mother spared no expense this year, as the room was draped in the most luxurious tapestries, with the light radiating around the room, giving off an almost magical ambiance. She notices me standing there, looking at the guests as they all intermingle. I can see a fair amount of maidens scanning the room, probably looking for me, I assume. My son, why are you standing up here all alone? Have you no desire to dance with any of the lovely ladies down there? She asked tenderly. She always understood my stance on love much more than my father, so I feel that I can be open with her. No, Mother, I worry that tonight will be more of the same, and honestly, I don't know whether I can put myself through that anymore. The women down there want what I, the prince, can provide for them. Nothing more, nothing less. I understand that finding true love is difficult, my dear boy, but closing yourself off entirely will only ensure that you'll never find it. She responds, her voice soft and comforting. I know that she is right, and I must muster up the energy to go down there. As I begin to make my way down the stairs, my eyes are drawn to the front entrance. I see the most elegant woman I have ever seen departing from her horse-drawn carriage. Her blonde hair is almost as radiant as the dress she has on. The gold and silver of her dress and shoes shine magnificently in the light, and she looks as if an angel had decided to descend from the heavens itself and join us for the evening. I can feel the eyes of the other maidens on me as I make my way through the crowd, but it means nothing to me. When I finally reach her, I am frozen for a second, unsure of what to do. I've never felt like this before. "Hello," she says sweetly. Her voice sounds surprisingly familiar, but I am too enchanted by her to think about it any further. I take her hand and offer to dance. She will be my partner for the night, and I make that intention known whenever anyone else tries to cut in. We gaze at each other, and I am overwhelmed by how genuinely beautiful she is. I also notice that she hasn't mentioned my title or my wealth once the entire evening. As it approaches midnight, she lets go of my hand suddenly and dashes off. "It was lovely dancing with you," she says quickly before darting off to the crowd. "Wait!" I yell desperately, but it is too late as she disappears into the night. I didn't even get to know her name, I thought to myself. The ball is a 3-night affair, and I pray for the privilege of seeing her again. I am delighted when she does indeed return the next night, and I once again let it be known that she will be my partner for the night and nobody else's, and we dance the night away yet again. She is even more beautiful tonight, and when I am around her, it is as if nothing else matters. I lose track of time as we dance, before suddenly, just as the night before, she lets go of my hands and sprints off towards the entrance. "No, not again!" I call out to her, but again, she disappears into the night. Determined by the events of the last 2 nights, I hatch a plan to find out who my newfound love is. I asked my mother to see if we could cover the stairs with a thicker rug, one that would catch a shoe if you ran through it. I did not tell her why, and even though she thought my request was a little odd, she granted it. I once again see my love walk through the entrance, as elegant as always, and we repeat our ritual from the previous 2 nights. This time, however, I make no attempt to stop her when she darts off hurriedly around midnight. I walk over to the stairs, and to my delight, one of her glass slippers lay caught in the rug. Perfect, I thought to myself. A shoe as nice as this surely had to be custom made for her, and if I can find her, only her foot would be able to fit this shoe. I spend the next week going all over town, having every woman try on this shoe, and time again, I am only met with the disappointment of not finding my mystery one. I finally make my way to the final cottage of the village. A man lives there with his 3 daughters. This must be it, for there were no other maidens left to try on the shoe. I disembark from my horse and am greeted by the father. "Hello, sire. To what do we owe this great pleasure of your presence?" "I seek assistance in solving a mystery of mine. It is my understanding that you have 3 daughters." "Yes," he exclaims. "Well, 2 of them are the prettiest maidens in the kingdom. Let me fetch them for you." He goes to get his daughters and returns, eager to present them to me. I ask his first daughter to try on the shoe, and she takes it inside to try on. When she returns, I see that the shoe fits, albeit snugly. I begin to take her hand, but stop when I glance down and see blood seeping through the shoe. "This shoe does not belong to you," I say matter-of-factly. She takes it off, and the second daughter takes it inside to try on. She walks awkwardly back out to us, looking like a fawn learning to walk. I can see immediately that the shoe does not belong to her either. "What of your third daughter?" I ask the man. "Cinderella?" he asks puzzlingly. "Surely she is not your mystery woman. She didn't even attend the ball. She was here taking care of the chores around the home." Despite this information, I order him to go get her. The moment I see her, I begin to feel that same enchantment as I had those 3 nights. We pause for a second as our eyes meet, and the electricity in the air is palpable. It is of no surprise to me when I slide the slipper on her foot, and it fits perfectly. "It is you," I say to her tenderly, as I see soft tears beginning to form in her eyes. "I am sorry for leaving so abruptly those nights. I just didn't want you to see me as I am now," she says in between slight sobs. I can hear her father and sisters begin to argue that this can't possibly be, but I drown them out. All I see now is what I've always seen with you, and that is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. We share a kiss, and I help her onto my horse. She wraps her arms lovingly around my waist as we make our way back to the castle. "Can I ask you something?" I say to her. "Can you sing for me?" And as I listen to her, a smile slowly spreads across my face, as I realize this is not the first time I have heard her sing. I have not only found my mystery woman, but the love of my life.